This wonderful news that comes as music to the ears of families who have members who have a severe food allergy, which could be fatal, of course, because a new study is being hailed as a breakthrough for thousands of people suffering from these allergies to have greater protection if they're exposed to certain food, like nuts. Researchers found that Xolair, it's a 20-year-old asthma drug, has another side effect that reduces the risk of anaphylaxis.
It's not a cure, and no decision has yet been made as to whether the NHS would use it, but experts believe it could have helped people like young 15-year-old Natasha Ednan-Laperouse. Now, Natasha was allergic to several foods and died after eating a baguette which contained sesame, to which she was fatally allergic. And her father, Nadim, joins us now. Nadim, it's good to see you this morning because this is a bit of good news. Now, I know you have a foundation which is all about raising money for research and campaigning on food allergy. When you heard about Xolair, a monoclonal antibody, which could increase the protection for people with food allergies, what was your reaction?
Well, generally, this is actually good news. It's a good news story,
yes.
And for sort of 3 million people that are food allergic, mainly young, these are children and teenagers en masse, this is good news for them and for the parents, really, who worry so much about their children, understandably so, that here could, at last, could be something that could actually help stop hospitalizations and stop the worst of things to happen, as happened to us, and somebody dying. And there's a lot of hope wrapped up in this story, really.
And this isn't something taken as an emergency antidote if someone, such as your daughter, is exposed to the food that could kill them. It's something that it is a long-term exposure to the drug, which gives them a long-term protection.
Yes, that's right. So the idea here really is to have, in effect, if I said a monthly injection, just to keep it simple, really, which would then build up over time, after several months, then should you come into contact and eat the foods you're allergic to, which could be a variety of foods, not just one or two, could be 3 or 4, the idea is that this drug actually significantly dampens down the body's immune response, essentially. So the immune system doesn't kick in and go into overdrive, which creates the worst situations for food allergy. And with that dampened down, then you're kept in a safe zone, your body's kept in a safe zone, and you don't have that terrible response. And so far, the sort of trials in the USA have shown this to be effective for young children and teenagers. In fact, for quite a wide age range, which is really the important part here, not just for older people or younger people, but quite a wide age range. Of course, there's lots of questions still. As you can imagine, this drug is not available in the UK yet, and there's questions of whether there's a cost issue or when it will be perhaps approved, and so on and so on.
But it's not just the potential to save a life. It also brings potentially peace of mind to families such as yours, because you must, as a parent, you must worry all the time when you have a child who's developed a food allergy. When they go on a sleepover, when they go on holiday, when they think they're buying something which is free of an allergen, but which in fact might not be. You must be worried about it all the time.
Honestly, I can say as a parent and a father who's lost their daughter, lost a child this way, when I think back now, what that was like, the level of stress one lives around for year after year after year. It never really goes away. Not until this idea of somebody comes in and helps me. And maybe this is what this is about. The idea that you can live a safer life, less worry, less stress on a day-to-day basis in itself has a huge value.
Oh, I can imagine. I really can.
Do you know, Nadim, how much this might cost? And will you be lobbying the NHS to adopt this? Presumably it has to go through the National Institute of Clinical... I mean, there's lots of obstacles, but for any family living with food allergy, you'd want to spend anything in order to avoid the worst, wouldn't you?
That's right. I mean, there is no price on a child's life for a parent. You do absolutely anything, and quite right. Though, I'd like to say that this is a drug that's existed for 20 years and been used for the treatment of asthma. Suddenly, and I say suddenly, we're hearing news, as we are talking about it today, that this same drug, without any change, can be used for the treatment of food allergies. It's taken 20 years to get to that point. It's interesting. And I think on behalf of the families, millions in this country, who would say, this is fascinating, can this help us? I would actually make a a somewhat impassioned appeal to the drug company here on behalf of those families. To the firm that makes the drug, they've made the money for 20 years and they've had the payback on all of their R&D and everything, the costs. This is a chance for a pharmaceutical company perhaps to do truly the right thing by this country and the population of food allergic people and make this drug available at a fair and reasonable price and not at the cost that we're seeing in the USA currently for the treatment of asthma, which is around £4,000 per month.
I think that is a really compelling argument, I have to say. It hadn't occurred to me, but you're quite right. This drug has been available for so long now that, as you say, all the research and development costs will have long ago been covered, and they're into pure profit now, which they'll continue to make in terms of treatment for asthma.
Yes.
But you're quite right, they could make an exception, couldn't they? Basically at cost.
They could. I mean, it could become truly affordable, and I think for the NHS to take something on and the whole thing to roll and become a benefit for millions of people in this country, cost and price is very important. And we know this is a very cost-conscious NHS, understandably so. And we just appeal to this drug company to do the right thing.
Absolutely right. Should just point out there are potential side effects from this drug, which obviously would have to be taken into consideration. And it doesn't protect everybody who takes it from having
it's not a
an
panacea.
anaphylactic shock. But the idea that it could help a huge number of people just live their lives a little bit more peacefully is so positive.
Oh, 100%. I mean, this could have worked potentially for Natasha.
Absolutely.
It could have worked for Natasha had it been available years ago.
And I think that must be the most heartbreaking thing about the news coming out.
That's it. There are few words, but, we have to look forward in life and help others, that's all you can do in life, help others going forward.
Well, that's been your life's mission since what happened
Yes,
to Natasha, and it's been so powerful, and we're so grateful to you for the work you do.
And thank you for coming in at very short notice to talk to us this morning. We do appreciate it. And
Thank
thank
you
you for
as
your
well.
time.
Yeah.